scene stuff so we can get this streamed in as well. So hang on, or keep chatting while we're working real quick. Sorry.
Okay, we're live.
You're able to do it.
We're live.
And we love.
Awesome. Okay, well, it is a couple minutes after 6, so I don't want to waste any more time because we got a lot to cover tonight. First off, I cannot believe it is the last couple days of the month of October. I can't believe since we saw each other last, our GLP-1, well, I can believe it. It's sold out, right? Our MindBody, the first run sold out. But first, I want everybody to get to hear from Joanne Parkin. She is a wealth of information, and Joanne, Executive Consultant 1, with so much more in the works as well. So I just wanted to invite Joanne on first to talk to us a little bit about MindBody. For those that don't know Joanne, Joanne was the head dietitian at the Heart Hospital in Sioux Falls. She has a massive resume. I won't get into all of this, but let me tell you, Joanne knows her stuff inside and out. And she is also a powerhouse and a force to be reckoned with on the business side as well. Some of you, if you have not seen that quick couple-minute video of what to expect when you start MindBody, we'll put this in the chat. Make sure you're sharing that with people because that is phenomenal as well. But Joanne, take it away, if you will. You can start sharing on MindBody. Thank you.
Oh, gee, thank you, Carrie. I'm so excited to be on with everybody tonight, and it's so interesting because I probably about 3 months ago I attended 3 to 4 different continuing education webinars sponsored by the Academy of Nutrition and Dietetics and the pharmaceutical companies that are making the GLP-1 injections, right? And so the whole kind of the theme was that, okay, dietitians, here's all the side effects. And when doctors will start the patients on the injections, and then here they hand them off to the dietitians to deal with the side effects. And so we were learning all about that. And, I'm thinking, there's got to be something better for patients and for people with their weight, because I know I've worked with, literally thousands of patients over the years and clients with, obesity and diabetes. And I just thought, this is really not the answer. This isn't it. And so when the MindBody products launched, it literally launched me off the couch. I mean, as you know, I'm 75, kind of, enjoying the retirement community lifestyle here. And I just knew I just got re-engaged. I mean, it really did. It's just like something that is going to have such a huge impact on the health of people, because I just recorded a little short video on my YouTube channel, and it was about, people asking, do I need to stay on these products indefinitely? And here's the thing. We need to talk about not just about the weight they're going to lose. We have to talk about how they're going to maintain it. So that's what's great about these products, is it addresses the root cause and gets down to the biology. So I've been pretty much just like totally massively excited about this, trying to put out little short videos to help people answer some of the questions, because these products are new. So the first one about what to expect, as you know, if you look at the ingredients in the label, there's a lot of ingredients my gut hasn't seen before. I don't know about yours. And, there's a lot of fiber, and there's some probiotics, and there's digestive blend, and there's, all of these ingredients. And for a lot of people, especially if they have the unhealthy gut, they're going to experience, and I looked at the ingredients, I just knew, okay, I can just guess what's going to happen. So it can be the gamut when people start, because I was looking at some research on the number of different hormones and peptides that are working and affecting, with your weight. And just think of the hormonal, adjustment going on in your gut. So I'm thinking, now we're hearing about anybody like even like gaining a little weight, maybe, right? Just gaining a little weight. Yeah. Okay. I thought these products were supposed to help me lose weight. Well, okay, what happens when you have hormones being adjusted and kind of balanced out? Does anybody can you imagine and think about what could happen in the body? I mean, some people could have, as their body is adjusting, could actually gain a little weight. I mean, you can gain 4 pounds in one day, just, overnight with just fluid changes. So I think people are so excited, they got their hands on it, they're going to take their products, and then a week later they hop on the scale and they've gained like 3 pounds. So I bet you've seen that. So I just think that people have to really give it time. And I would discourage weighing every day for sure. That would be not good. And maybe once a week. But I just thought, I love Nikki Elsing. She posted on our customer Facebook page about, hey, anybody out there with gut rumblings out there? So I just knew that people would individually would experience the range of side effects. I want to say side effects, adjustment, and even just with a probiotic, people can have a gut adjustment with one single ingredient. So just tell your customers and your consultants that, I just think they have to back off on the dose. It's just a simple thing to do, is just to cut back on that dose. And
Joanne, when you say the dose, do you mean just the powder?
I would cut back on both. I would do both. The powder is probably the one that's going to cause, probably that full range of the symptoms that you're getting is probably going to be more from the powder. But again, you have 8 different plant compounds in the MB core in the capsules. So, there could, people can just like think about with Protandim, when we launched Protandim, think about that, all the range just with Protandim with new plant compounds that they're introducing. And, I think there's some detoxification going on and some cleansing going on in the gut with balancing all those hormones and peptides. And so I think, you just have to tell people, I think we just maybe what I'm thinking now and what I'm going to do is prepare anybody new that I'm starting and prepare them and send them that little video that I did, like what to expect. Send that to them as minute that, when they start, anybody new is starting, to kind of give them a heads up. Hey, just understand if you have any little bit more gas and bloating, I mean, some people might have an explosion going on in the gut, so maybe just kind of prepare them in advance. And hey, if you have anything goes on, get back to me. We can work. I can help you work through anything like that. Anyway, any more questions for me, Carrie? Do you have anything particular?
Yeah, on that real quick. Like what percent, do you have any like rough idea to give a slight percent of people that you feel like they're experiencing that versus how many are just doing totally good on as directed? Because we're having a remarkable results with many as well.
Yes. I'm thinking of a lot like, when we launched our probiotics and our prebiotics, and we saw similar kind of the gut response. I don't know if I can say a percentage. I think maybe 25% of people are going to have some symptoms and some big time gut adjustments. I mean, I was just talking to somebody who said they just started out day 1, full dose, no problems. So it depends. And I tell people, listen, if you have any history of irritable bowel, some gut issues, you may want to take it slow, after a week, start with the 2. And even though the little brochure gives you instructions about how you're just supposed to take 2 scoops of the powder the first week, people are, my experience is either that gets lost in the box or people are not reading it. So you make sure that they get their instructions to start with. And then just say, hey, when you increase it up to 4 scoops, you're going to be doubling the amount of fiber. And I tell them that, even the guidelines are when you increase fiber in your diet, you should only increase it like 2 to 3 grams a day to give your gut a time to adjust. And our MB Enhance is 13 grams. So you realize just with the 2 scoops, they're kind of doubling what the guidelines are. And for some people, even that can be too much. So, and then people who say that they become constipated, you understand that when you have a lot of fiber in your gut, that draws water into the gut. And so you can have, things can happen. You can have not enough water and you can get constipated, or you can have diarrhea. I mean, it's kind of the gamut, but especially when you're introducing that much fiber, when the average American consumes 11 grams of fiber, and all of a sudden, 13 grams. And we know, over the years, that we used to actually tell people not to take a boatload of fiber, like fiber tablets, because that used to be a big thing. 2 fiber tablets, load up on this super high fiber cereal. We ended up having people getting severely constipated, having like bowel impactions because they were not drinking enough water with the fiber. So hold on just a minute. I got something going on here in my computer. Hold on. That's okay. But anyway, so I hope that answers that question.
Absolutely. Thank you. Keep going.
Okay, now the other question that I'm getting, is about the weight maintenance part. And I kind of alluded to that. And so if you think about when anybody here been on a diet where you've lost weight and gained it back, and you can't believe it because you were so good, and because your body has something called a set point. And I used to think this was a theory, because I worked with so many people over the years that have experienced this, and then they get so discouraged, and because with their weight loss efforts, and actually their biology is working against them. And first of all, we know that people, when they lose weight, they lose a lot of lean body mass. So with the injections, they told us in our conferences, in our webinars, that the loss of the lean body mass was a serious issue. Up to 30 to 50% of the weight loss would be their lean body mass. And that is pretty typical. About 30% of the weight that is lost is your lean body mass in almost any diet program, or anytime you make a big change up in your food intake. That's pretty typical. But what do we have with MindBody? How much lean body mass is lost, guys? 0.
That's amazing. That's so huge.
When you think about, for the weight maintenance part, we're not depressing our metabolic rate, the rate at which we burn calories. So people are not going to have to deal with that in the maintenance phase. And the other issue with people when they lose weight is the fact that their body secretes hunger hormones, the pro-hunger hormones. And a study out of Australia showed this. In fact, they measured, I think there was 8 to 10 different hunger hormones and peptides that control appetite and hunger. And so they published this study where they measured all of that, those peptides and hunger hormones, before they placed these subjects on a very low calorie diet. So they measured all this before the diet, and then they measured it at 10 weeks and 62 weeks later. They found that the hunger hormones, the pro-hunger hormones that promoted hunger, were higher after 62 weeks later than when they started the diet. So this is why people have not had success in the long term, is that they're actually, especially for kind of very low calorie diets, are just horrible for this. And so they actually have higher pro-hunger hormones. So what do you think happens? They're hungrier. That's what they reported in the study. They're hungrier, have a greater appetite, 62 weeks later than before they started the diet. So you see with MindBody, what are we doing with MindBody? We're balancing the hunger hormones. So what do you think is going to happen with weight maintenance? Don't you think people are going to have greater success with their weight maintenance? Now, will they need to stay on a dosage, or will they need to continue to take MindBody? I think we go back to the individual and the variability. And someone who started with a lot of insulin resistance, metabolic syndrome, having all of those kind of major health issues. Now, those people may be the ones that definitely may need to stay, long term. But I think we don't know for sure, do we? Does anybody know what's going to happen? I mean, I don't know if medical advisory board really knows, or, I just think that people are just going to have great long-term success. And I think personally, I would stay on the MindBody, especially with the the MB Enhance, just for the benefits to your microbiome. And if you're improving the health of your gut and your microbiome, that's going to improve your overall health and wellness. So it's going to be beneficial for you to stay on in the long term. There's no downside that I can say, unless you lose too much weight, obviously. So, we don't know.
Which we actually, interestingly enough, we've got a consultant on here who, right, maybe a little underweight, and it's balancing, right? Like LifeVantage products have done. And she is actually now gaining strength and doing incredible things. So she is not just dropping weight. She didn't get on it for that whatsoever, but it's truly helping to regulate so she can function the best she can as well, which is pretty awesome.
That's a great story. That's great to hear that. I know I've started with just because I don't need to lose weight, but I want the health benefits of the products. So I've started with the MB Enhance, and taking it quite slow because I do have some gut issues, some history of that. So I'm noticing it first. I can't believe this. I can't think that after just one scoop for like 10 days that it would improve my sleep. It's just, but that's kind of what I'm kind of experiencing. Even with
how about the energy, right?
Yes. If you're sleeping better and you get that deep sleep, you're going to have more energy. So, yes.
I know a lot of people are saying, okay, if this is so great for your gut, do they still need the probiotic or the prebiotic? How would you respond to that? And I saw that in the chat, I believe.
Yes. This is kind of my initial thoughts about it. And that is that the probiotic strains that you have in our MindBody products are specifically formulated for helping with weight management, for increasing that probiotic bacteria called Akkermansia. They're there specifically to work in synergy with the formula. Now, the probiotic bacteria in our ProBio are designed for general health, for irritable bowel, just antibiotic-associated diarrhea, traveler's diarrhea, all kinds of different general kind of health issues. And the World Gastroenterology Organization has published this chart, and it's pages long, and it has all of the specific strains of probiotic bacteria and their very specific health benefits. So, every strain of a probiotic has been researched and studied for the specific health benefits. So I think there's a role for taking a probiotic like our ProBio along with the MindBody, so that you get the benefits of those probiotic bacteria. I know some people would never go off their ProBio, right, Sharon? I see Sharon Grazer, her husband. He's still taking it, right, Sharon? That some people that had terrific benefits from our ProBio, and they're going to continue to take that. So I think that's going to be a little bit individual as well. But I think there's definitely a role and a need for both.
Awesome. What other questions do we have in the chat? Any big ones, Pam? Joanne, I'm going to send you a couple pictures really fast of me. It's going to blow you away. I'm not really ready to share with the world yet, but I want you to look at them, Joanne, so then maybe you can say a little bit about what is happening. I shared it with Melody as well. It's pretty crazy, you guys. I have had massive results in 2.5 weeks, but I would not have known the full extent of it without pictures. And honestly, pictures in a swimsuit, and it is mortifying. I took pictures in yoga pants and a sports bra as well. But if I hadn't said to a friend, hey, will you snap this just so I can compare? So hang on, I'll send you that while Pam, if there's anything you're seeing.
One thing that's being asked, Joanne, is the MB system is really helping with the gut-brain connection, as far as people tend to, not eat as much because they're feeling fuller, and they're, one of the questions was on eating plans then. I mean, it's doing a better job of just letting your body know, okay, you're done, you're full, you don't need to eat anymore. Even though you still have more on your plate, you don't have to eat it all. And also I'm hearing that people are craving healthier foods, not the junk food. So what is that doing to our blood sugars in our body then? If we're not craving that junk food, we're craving more of the proteins, we're craving more veggies and sugar, veggies and fruits, and not those bad foods, the junk food. Why is that? How is it helping to balance out our blood sugar?
Because why is the reason it's balancing out your blood sugar, probably because of the effect that GLP-1 has on the pancreas. Because if you've seen in some of the charts, that when GLP-1 stimulates release of insulin from the pancreas, so that that increases, so that brings your blood sugars down, and at the same time, it also suppresses the release of another hormone called glucagon. Now, glucagon will release sugars, stimulates the liver to break down the glycogen and dump sugar into your bloodstream. And so what happens with GLP-1, it balances that out, right? So it balances out your sugars by balancing out the release of the insulin and the glucagon. So insulin brings sugars down and glucagon brings them up. And sometimes what happens is you get, too much glucagon hormone dumped into your bloodstream, and that's overactive and giving you too much sugar, especially overnight. It seems that glucagon is hard at work dumping sugar into your bloodstream. The other thing too, if you're slowing down gastric emptying, you're slowing down the rate at which sugars are getting released into your intestinal tract. So therefore, you get instead of getting like a big spike in your blood sugar after a meal, you're going to get a more slow release of those sugars into your bloodstream. So that's really kind of how it works. The other thing how it works is that it targets our body, those MindBody products target that visceral fat. That visceral fat is almost like this endocrine organ, and it really does increase your insulin resistance and how you're utilizing insulin. So by reducing the visceral fat, you're going to improve how your insulin works better. Your insulin's going to work a lot better. It's not going to just get up to the cell and bounce off. It's going to be able to help make that insulin work so much better just by getting rid of that belly fat and that insulin resistance. So it's amazing how it helps with balancing your blood sugars. Like we don't make claims, it's treating diabetes, but we do know how these products work to balance out the blood sugars. So almost everybody in our country can use that. I'm just telling you that most of us need better balance of the blood sugars.
And what do you think about the synergy, the benefits to really using protandim nerve 2 and collagen, like combining that three? Powerful teams.
Yes. We know that when you're overweight, that you have that, especially that visceral fat, produces pro-inflammatory hormones. I mean, it increases inflammation in your body. Also, that toxins are stored mostly in fat. So what does protandim do? Well, lowers inflammation. It helps with detoxifying, right? It helps you to, because all of those toxins add to oxidative stress. So it's lowering oxidative stress, right? So it's going to really be a benefit as you're losing the weight to keep that oxidative stress down, helping you to detox, all of those benefits with the products.
Awesome. Awesome.
Good questions. And I just saw your pictures, Carrie.
Okay. Can you believe that in 2.5 weeks, Joanne?
Well, you're inspiring me to really get with it here and to get my pictures done. Well, I came back. Okay, so I have to tell you, and this is very, it's unbelievable. You haven't posted your pictures yet anywhere, have you, Carrie?
I haven't. Yeah, I don't mind putting it like on a WhatsApp chat, but I wasn't ready for it to go on social media yet, and I feel like I'm gonna lose total control if everybody has it. But you guys, it's like I got a butt lift.
Yeah, I'm seeing that.
I showed it to Melody. I said, Melody, you have to explain, like, how is this working like this? She said, you're literally losing subcutaneous fat.
Yeah.
I knew I'd lost a few pounds. I knew my stomach felt flatter, but I never in a million years would have known the difference like that, especially in my legs and things. I mean, never, you guys. Like shocked, wouldn't? And some people are like, "Are you retouching this?" I'm like, I don't even know how to put them side by side. They had to do that for me. Yeah, like everybody that knows me knows no way it was that happening.
Well, I that's interesting because I'm just like gung-ho about the products for the gut health benefits because I'm thinking, but now that I'm learning about that it's improving your body composition and. Every adult my age can improve their body composition because as you age, you naturally gain more fat and you lose your lean body mass as you age. So the products make sense that they're going to help people even that are lean to improve their body. You can improve your body composition. I mean, I'm still going to go to the gym. I still need to do all that, even though I don't like lifting those weights. I like pickleball, but I don't like lifting weights. But, we could all improve our body composition, but for sure, and for, older adults. So I'm inspired, Carrie. Thank you for sharing your pictures.
I'll share with you guys soon. Hold tight. Oh my God.
Wait, is there more questions? I mean, some of the chat down there,
really quick, you guys, I wanted to share. I put my 14-year-old son, actually both my kids are on it, but I put my 14-year-old on it, Luke, really for the gut and the brain benefits. He doesn't need to lose weight at all. He took, the capsules first thing when he woke up, and then he actually didn't take the powder until 3:30 in the afternoon when he came home from school. He's normally ravenous, and that's when he goes and eats a ton of junk, right? And then he's not even hungry by the time dinner time. He took all 4 scoops. Runs out the door, goes to his friend's house from 3:30 to 8, comes home, and I'm like, hey, did you eat over there? And he's like, I really wasn't very hungry. But then the mom texted me. I think she felt bad for not feeding him dinner. And she said, Carrie, it was the weirdest thing. We had pizza. He put 2 pieces of pizza on his plate, and he kind of then looked at it funny. And I was like, does anyone else want this? I don't know. I'm not really feeling hungry. That blew me away. And then he came home and later did eat. So it's not like I don't want my kid eating, but he didn't eat all those chips or that junk that he typically would have. And really, I was inspired by you, Joanne, on just such tremendous gut benefits that I wanted for Luke and knowing the brain benefits as well. And he's had amazing results already in the week. He got on the scale. He actually lost 4 pounds, which I'm like, you literally do not need to lose weight. And he goes, if this is for real life, Vantage is going worldwide. He was like in the mirror flexing and looking at his abs. It was hysterical, you guys.
So some of you have lost like your appetite. You don't feel like eating. And if you get to that point, just remember, make sure that you are eating your protein for sure, because you're going to be losing the fat, but you need to be building your lean body mass and your muscle mass, and you want to preserve that. So you want to make sure that you are having protein forward meals. Number one, as far as a nutrition plan, and as far as any kind of a specific diet, I am a huge fan of the Mediterranean diet, and when I actually have a webinar on my YouTube channel, and it was before the products launched. And I was guessing how the products were going to work, because I had given lots of webinars on the microbiome, the microbiome, and the gut-brain axis. And so one thing that I did do was I did some research about specific foods and dietary patterns that would increase GLP-1 naturally. Turns out several foods within the Mediterranean diet, avocados, extra virgin olive oil, some of those leafy greens, beans and lentils, and just the overall dietary pattern of the Mediterranean diet will actually increase GLP-1 hormone naturally. In the nut category, they've found pistachios particularly helpful. So you just think more Mediterranean. And then, and also in the protein category, eggs. So if you enjoy eggs are great. So try to think more when you're looking at weight maintenance and for the long term, look at eating more of that Mediterranean pattern. And I can pull that, I could send that out to you. So what I did, I'm kind of behind the curve here actually with the launch of the products, because right the week before the products launch, I just had returned from 3 weeks in the Mediterranean on my, dream cruise from the Mediterranean Greek Isles, 15 days. And so I had to get the video out before I left, because I was like, this is going to be really huge. It's going to work on the gut, I'm sure. So, anyway, any other questions? Oh my goodness, this is great.
And real quick before everybody jumps off, we got a couple other things to share as well.
I have a question.
Yes.
When you mentioned that you had your 14-year-old on the product, I think
Yes.
that's what you said. I noticed, and I have a 13-year-old, and he wants to use the product. And but I noticed on the bottle of the capsules, the core, it does say not for use for people under 18. So I was wondering if that's just a CYA legal thing or what?
Yeah, we don't test on children, so the company is always going to say that, just like it says that on it, but yeah, we know what that's done. So it's just purely a personal choice on my end.
Right. Well, it's all natural. So I mean, what could possibly go wrong with that, other than all the things that our speaker said tonight? But other than that, it's all good, right?
And you have to remember that, and especially like if you look at MD Core, look at the quantity of all those 8 plant compounds, it's like 1440 milligrams. If you go look and you buy each one of those individually, like off the shelf, for each one individually will be between 500 to 1500 milligrams each. So you see our smart scientists, our company, understand the concept of activation and synergy. So all it takes is those small doses of those, so that you're not really having, for the most part, have any kind of pharmacological effect with, with pharmaceuticals in that sense, because there's just not that enough quantity of them in there. I mean, you're really like, when you look at the formulas and you look at the ingredients, it's like food. I mean, it's like eating the healthiest meal that you could eat, just load it up with all kinds of plant foods, and then you chase it down with a glass of kombucha, right? When you look at the formula, isn't that kind of what you think when you see all of that, right? Maybe some fermented foods in there, throw a little yogurt on top of something. And so that's really what MindBody is. The super duper healthy meal.
That's amazing. Amazing. And we will have Joanne more. We'll do it. We need a webinar of you, and I know you've got others out there as well. So you guys, I encourage you, watch Joanne's stuff. She has just a wealth of information. She knows it inside and out. And anytime we get the privilege to hear you, we are so grateful. So thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.